Hey there, everybody. Raccoon City Pizza here, and today I wanted to make a video that I feel like I really need to get off my chest. Since everybody seems to be on the Capcom hate bandwagon lately, and rightfully so, for those of you that have been living underneath a rock, long story short, according to somebody who worked at GOG, which is a game company who preserves old games, whenever they brought up preserving the original Resident Evil trilogy last year, Capcom stated that those games were basically outdated and bad. And of course, that has everybody up in a furious uproar right now, and rightfully so. But if you haven't heard that, look into it. If you want some more details, it's really crappy for them to say that. Anyhow, I want to project my own hatred uh, towards Capcom, and that is their lack of marketing and products. Capcom, you're a great company, man. You know Resident Evil is great. Well, most of the time. But why do you make crap merchandise? I mean, seriously, why? So let's go ahead and just take a look at this. Let me go ahead and just make myself a little smaller, and let's take a look. So this is on Capcom's official website, and I saw this on Twitter a week or so ago, and it just makes my oh man, it makes my blood pressure go up. So we're on their site, takes us here to Amazon. This is $26. A t-shirt with Grace just slapped on it. This looks awful. It's squared off. It doesn't fade. It looks like trash. That looks so bad. I mean, look at that. Let's go ahead and put it on red so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, look at that. It's horrible. That looks like trash, man. And you want us to pay $26 for this T-shirt? Get out of here. Okay, 30th anniversary. I've actually not seen this. So this is some 30th anniversary merch. Nice. So let's take a look at this then, and see what this looks like. So yeah, look, Resident Evil 30th anniversary. It's a raccoon with glasses on and a hat because Raccoon City. Ha ha ha. That's funny. 41.99. No, that's not funny. I'm not paying 41.99 for a really crappy looking Walmart um sweater, a sweatshirt, and with this stupid art on there. That's awful. All right, here we go. Here's something kind of unique, I guess. Some unique art. At least it's not just game art slapped on. So this is the most unique one I've seen so far. That's kind of appealing. Chainsaw Villager. It's again, I mean, it's still kind of boring. It's just some words and black and white Photoshop uh, picture of the Chainsaw Villager on the T-shirt. But I mean, at least I guess it's kind of unique. But again, this is something I would literally see on eBay. Um, Everything they have here is basically just T-shirts. That's all they have. T-shirts with art on there. Again, this is just a squared out picture. It has no design flow. So I hate to kind of compare things here, but I want to slide over here to Konami. Okay, Capcom's rivals. Let's take a look at the Silent Hill merchandise they got here. So they have a sweatshirt here. Granted, that is a very expensive sweatshirt. I'm not buying that. But if you look at that, look at this art. Now this is from Silent Hill F. I've not played the game, but look, it's not a squared off picture. It like the design is part of the shirt. You know what I mean? Like they have some stuff right here on the side that looks pretty interesting. And I can vouch for Konami Shop. They make very, very good products. And look, they don't have just clothes. They have cards. I've actually bought these cards, and they're great, very good quality, and they look cool. And I love playing cards anyways. So, why not toss it up and have a little bit of Silent Hill flavor in there? I mean, look at that, and 16.99. That's not too bad. That's reasonable. That's why I got it. I mean, They have looks like they have a set of replica keys they're coming out with. That's pretty cool. Not really my thing, but still $50, 3 keys. Let's see. I wonder what they're made out of. So three different finish styles. Um oh, there we go. Uh let's see. I don't know if it says what they're made out of. Okay. Antique copper plating. So yeah, it's not just plastic. I mean that that's kind of neat. That would be a cool little display for somebody. Not my thing, but again, um, and don't get me wrong, they have a lot of T-shirts, but they have a journal. They have this cute little Mira, Myra, or the dog, whatever her name is. Um, that's cute. They got stuff for your car here. Um, they got vinyls and everything. I mean, look, this stuff's pretty cool. They had a puzzle here, which I wish I could get that, but they sold out. I have this, the blanket. It's a very big. Actually, I have it right here next to me. Matter of fact, see, look, it's a big old blanket, and it's a nice blanket. Very cozy, and 40 bucks. I think whenever I got it, it was 30, 35 though. I think the price went up a little bit, but still nice. A music box. That's pretty cool. This jacket, I actually want to get this jacket. Hopefully they restock it again, because I got the original version and it was a nice jacket, really nice jacket. And I had to sell it because I've lost a lot of weight, but I loved it. It was great, very comfortable. Look at this funny little pin. I think this is just funny because it's James hiding whenever you open it up. I think that's funny. If you play the game, you know what that's from. But and I have that. It's right here on my shelf behind me. I don't even use pins, but that's still like I don't put on bags or nothing, but it's still cool to have. It's something cheap, something interesting, and something kind of silly. It's funny. I like it. It gives me a chuckle. Um, but then you come over here to Capcom, and it's just apparel, 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 apparel. That's all it is. Apparel, nothing. Um, oh look, they got phone cases and bags. Cool with RE4 on there. How unique. That's trash. Capcom, that is trash. Um, but then I want to show you guys something. So let's go over here to Etsy. Okay, these are some items I'm actually thinking about buying from people who make things. If you've never been on Etsy, this is stuff that people make. They're not from big companies, and they're great. Check this out. Now this is blue. You can get it in gold, as you can see right back here. But that is freaking sweet. That's from RE3 Nemesis, and it's a Zippo. And I don't even smoke, but I've always wanted to have a Zippo because I think they're cool. Look at that. It's $15, man. $15. Um, I saw this also. I want to grab. It's a bottle opener. Okay, so if you want to drink a beer or something, um, which I usually twist it off, but still, you get my point. That's pretty cool. That's from the RE2 remake. The stars badge, $13. Okay, I saw this. Also thought it was pretty neat. It's a little like keychain. It says "fine" like from the original Resident Evil 2 game, and that's pretty cool. Look, it even has a nice packaging with it. That's cool. I like that. Um, so it's things like that I don't get. And let's not forget, we have things like here. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys. So we have things like this. Okay. Let me actually bring the camera up to where you guys can see me better. We have this. This is a statue of Jill Valentine from the original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis game. This is made by Raccoon City Surplus on Etsy. Amazing shop. He has done wonders for the community. And it's nice. It's really cool. I paid about $100 for this. Um, Usually they're more, but I got mine a little bit smaller, and I'm going to show you why in a second. And it's great quality. It looks great, and I love it. I've sold a lot of things this year, but something like this is unique, and I think it's cool. But let's take a look at this guy. So this is one of the only action figures I still have because it is a masterpiece. It is a RE2 remake Leon. This guy I got it for about $100, and it's worth so much more now because this is actual real tailored clothing, and they somehow made this work on a 6-inch scale figure, and that's why I scaled down the Jill to kind of have the same scale here. it looks phenomenal. I mean, this camera isn't really the best camera on my laptop here, and this just doesn't do it justice. I mean, this looks like Leon Kennedy jumped out of your screen and is sitting on your shelf. But guess what? This is made by a third party company, not licensed by Capcom. This is made by the company Lim Toys, and they do phenomenal work. But again, it's not a legit Capcom product, but it's amazing. I love it. I'll put him back in a little bit. The closest thing Capcom has actually made that I liked was the first aid spray box back here. And now, of course, it's an empty can, so I drink it, but it's kind of cool. You know, you can make this look like the actual first aid spray from the can or from the game, not from the can. Sorry. And I liked, the herbs in there and the ink ribbons. That was also in the item box. Very, very clever how they did all that. I liked how they did it. The packaging was nice, and the drinks were pretty tasty. Um, but it was so expensive. It was like $200. I'm not doing that. I got mine for like 100. Thought that was a great deal. And that leads me to the next discussion about Capcom. Okay, they do make some products, but they make it so expensive, so expensive. And I'm sorry, but not everybody's going to drop 100 or more dollars on a product like that. Okay, they're just not. Even people who are big collectors, they're not going to drop money on some things that aren't worth it. Like that's not worth it. I'm sorry, but it's not. $100, sure. Anything, after that, no, no, it's not worth that at all, man. Um, Let me go ahead and show you guys something they did a long time ago. Okay. Because speaking of action figures, a lot of people that they collect action figures and Funko Pops and stuff like that, right? Okay. Well, let me see. Let's do Resident Evil, NECA. Okay. So these came out whenever I was a kid. And this was never adult collecting became a thing because these figures weren't like really toys; they were more like statues, which is fine by me. Okay, here's actually a picture on Reddit somebody took. So this has some of them and some other things too. So okay, this RE6 Leon, I believe, is not a real deal. This Jill is and Chris is from NECA, which they look kind of weird, but keep in mind this is from like 2005 ish. So, figures and statues weren't as detailed as they are now. But look, even back in the early 2000s, late 90s, they even had Toy Biz figures, like those were actual like toys for kids, not just statues. These actually had play features and stuff. But still, it's funny they made that. A horror game, they made toys of it for kids. I just thought that was funny. But they even made stuff like that, you know? Um, we just don't get that anymore for some reason. Let's look up Resident Evil 25th anniversary merch. Um, which this is 5 years ago. Keep in mind. Okay. Um, let's see. Wonder if we can dig up anything. I think I've seen a few things in the past, but not really a whole lot. So yeah, so I actually have these. I actually bought these from Nicole Tompkins, who played as um Jill Valentine, in RE3 remake at her booth. These are bath bombs. They're cool. I got them for like $5 each. It's not bad, but how much they were then, I don't know. And these were from Japan. You know, and I'm not sure what this gallery is going into, so it looks like this isn't really going to show me much. But I do know that they just didn't really come out with anything for the 25th anniversary. Oh, yeah, here's a pin. Whoop de doo, a pin. That's phenomenal. Like what? And then they do some things like Numbskull, the ducks are silly or whatever, but still, it's just I where's the novelty of things at, Like I can't tell you how many things I've gotten from the Konami shop. Like, look at this Silent Hill cup. Let me find this. This is a glass and it's good quality. Oh no. Where is it? Let's see. Silent Hill to Konami shop. Um Bar glass. Here we go. So I got this. It's a pint glass, and it's actually really good quality. I love this glass. And look at it. There's a hole here. It's gone now from the game. You know, something simple, something nice, something that me as an adult I can use. You know, I use that in my daily life. Well, not maybe not every day, but you know what I mean. This blanket, I've used it here in this room whenever it gets a little chilly in here sometimes, which is why it's over here. That James jacket, I've used it. Uh, you know, their t-shirts look really cool. Um, so Capcom, why can't you do the same? You know, why can't you give us keychains? Why can't you give us um, bottle openers? You know, why can't you give us some action figures or some friggin' statues, man? I mean, they're not really my thing anymore, but still, that's a market out there in itself. So what is the deal? Um, I don't really think I have anything else to say, or else I'm going to be here all night ranting and ranting. And I just don't understand why Capcom. Oh, that was the last thing I was going to mention. Let's do Universal Studios Japan Biohazard, which is, you know, the name for Resident Evil in Japan. So, this is one last thing I wanted to touch on. They do have some merchandise. Actually, they do have pretty cool merchandise, but it's only available in Japan. And they sell things on there. Here, let me just do this because I'm probably not going to find it on the actual page. Let's do Resident Evil. Also ignore this. I was trying to get a gift for somebody. But anyways, Resident Evil, Universal Studios Japan. Yeah, let's see what happens there. Okay, so we have like an actual like replica of Leon's shirt, but which it don't really look like it, but keep in mind he had the vest and everything underneath there. We have these pouches, backpacks, all this. Look, it's a tumbler. Now, of course, these prices, ignore those. Those are people trying to get, you know, some money. Oh, that's cute. A little Jill Valentine plush for anybody that likes plushies or whatever. Oh, they got several of them actually. Oh, that Leon, that's pretty cool. I'm not much of a plushie person, obviously, but and that's still cool though. A little liquor, a little doggo. That's cool. Little dog tags. I mean, again, these are nothing phenomenal, but dude, at least it's something, you know? I mean, they've got like pouches and backpacks. That's a pretty neat shirt, PSAA. I'd wear that. Um, but we just don't ever really get stuff like that. I mean, we do get some collabs every now and then, like they did this, the Good Smile Company, and I do have this actually. It's signed by the guy that plays as Leon. A little Nindroid. That's cool. And they did have Funko Pops at one point. If I can type. Resident Evil Funko Pops. And it's a shame that we didn't get more. You know, this is what they came out with, which I remember way back when these came out. I thought about getting them, even though I didn't really collect pops. And I regret not doing it. But it's like you got Jill, Leon, Nemesis, a Liquor, a Hunter, and you know, two different types of the Tyrant. But what I didn't understand then is why they, you know, like they had a Liquor here, and even though I love RE4, I mean, shouldn't that be RE2 Leon to go with the Liquor? You know what I mean? Should this be RE3 Jill to go with Nemesis? I don't know. I just don't get it. You know, they could have done way more here, and they could still make Funko Pops, and they would sell. I mean, Funkos in themselves is a big market. So is it licensing with Funko? I don't know. And the reason why I wanted to bring all this up, guys, is because people are mad. Like I said at the beginning of the video, people are mad at Capcom right now for kind of crapping over the original games. Um, and I don't understand why. Why would you do that as a company? You have these games that you pretty much consider to be inferior dinosaurs, yet you can still make money off of them. Wouldn't it be smart to go ahead and make money off of them still, especially if they're old dinosaurs don't really require much except porting them to other systems? I mean, they just ported them on the PS5 and they've been selling, so that's easy money in your pocket. You could make things like this, okay? And it would sell. But for some reason, they don't. and I don't get why. It doesn't make any sense. For some reason, Capcom, I feel like they just hate making money sometimes. um, or if they do try to make some things, they put a gigantic price tag on it, and it's just not going to work in this day and age, man. Especially with how bad the economy is, you know. Um, but anyways, yeah, that is all I have to say about it. So this does kind of tie in to just Capcom being weird lately. But let me know what you guys think. Do you have any kind of Resident Evil merch? I mean, me, I have a little bit of stuff right here and here. And of course, some autographs over there. But I mean, I'm not really much of a collector at all anymore of anything. But still, I mean, Capcom, man, you're sitting on money. You got the 30th anniversary coming up. Do something for once. Okay, make something cool so we can give you our hard-earned money. All right. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out, guys.